For that. My name is Elizabeth Crawford. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach and an essential oil specialist. Been using oils for 6 years, and I was really drawn to sharing oils with people when I saw the dramatic changes that they made in my body with energy levels, with reduction in pain, with managing hormones. The list really goes on and on. And I knew as soon as I was exposed to this culture that I wanted to wrap my arms around as many people as I could and say, come with me. So it's what I do for a living now, and I couldn't be more blessed. For tonight's call, this is an Essential Oil 101 class, and I'm going about it in a way where we're just going to make essential oils simple to understand and as digestible as possible. We're going to focus on you to get started so that you can figure out what you want to feel more of, what you want to feel less of in your body. And then we're going to focus on lots of threes. Great things come in packages of threes, I guess. 3 cool things about oils, 3 ways to use oils, 3 ways to purchase, and 3 pathways. So there's a little bit of a pattern there. I like to start every class that I do with this little visual here. And there's a lot going on the screen. I hope it's not super overwhelming, but the point I want to get across to you here is that your health is built in a pyramid like you're seeing here. This is the wellness pyramid. The base of the pyramid is eating right. When you eat right, you can exercise and move your body. When you eat right and exercise, now you can rest and manage your stress more efficiently and effectively. And when you can do all those 3 things, your body will reduce its toxic load. And these are lifestyle choices. And when we make these lifestyle choices in these categories, you can really eliminate 80% of visits to the doctor, because 80% of illness is lifestyle based. So we really do have a lot of control here. On the left side of the image here, we're talking about too much of the wrong thing. We're talking about chemicals and pesticides, pharmaceuticals, alcohol, being a couch potato, having that sedentary lifestyle, eating processed takeout foods, stress, pollution, blue light exposure. Too much of the wrong thing can really impact how you feel overall, and can really impact the amount of work that needs to be done in these 4 different categories. And then on the right side, it's much more peaceful and relaxing. I'm much more drawn to that. This is more focused on getting ample sleep at night, eating healthy fats, getting movement in, eating nutritious foods, educating and stimulating your mind, meditation, tea, things that are less impactful in a negative way on your body. So I always like to focus on this so that you can kind of think, where can I make adjustments? This is another image that I think is really powerful. And I just encourage you to look over the 3 different sections here: low, medium, and high. The low meaning of more of a diseased state, medium being kind of like your typical average. When somebody asks you, or you ask somebody how they're doing, and they say, I'm fine, this is really what's going on a lot of times, right? And then there's high. This is when we're more optimized, when we're nourishing our body, when we're really focusing on those core parts of the pyramid, and we're using natural solutions to take care of our bodies. So I invite you to think about, where do you fall on this scale? And feel free to interrupt me and share if anything sticks out to you. I'm happy to make this interactive as much as possible. So, and you're welcome to screenshot that too if you want to reference it later on. Okay, so here's where we're going to just take a beat. And this is really where the focus on you comes into play. I want you to jot down for yourself your top 3 health concerns. If you have a pen and paper ready, really focusing on what are the top 3 things that can make a big impact in my life, that can change my quality of life if only X, Y, and Z were better. What are those things? And again, here, if you want to share, you're welcome to. Some things that might come to mind are things like headaches and migraines and fatigue, stress, anxiety, poor sleep, pain and inflammation, hormonal support. I get a lot of pain with my cycle, and I'm using natural solutions to really manage and mitigate that. I've covered a lot of the things, but if there's anything specific that you want to share, I can also gear the information that I'm going to share around essential oils and natural solutions more towards your health concerns if you are open to sharing. And if not, that's okay. Not everybody wants to air their dirty laundry, so to speak. All right, so 3 cool things about essential oils. Really, really simplified. I want to just share with you some great things about essential oils, and these are your takeaways. If you can tell me 3 cool things about essential oils, then my job here is done. So the first one is essential oils are safe. They are natural based. They are essentially the immune system of a plant. So if you think of a plant and its environment and the types of things that it might need in its immune system to help it to thrive. Maybe a plant that is in a very swampy, humid environment might need a lot of antifungal properties. So its immune system is going to be loaded with antifungal properties. Or let's imagine a plant that grows in the middle of the desert in sand and very dry, arid climate. That type of plant is going to be loaded with things like antioxidants in its immune system to help it thrive and stay alive. And the really cool thing about that is when we use that plant's immune system, we can also reap those same benefits. So they are very, very natural. And because they are natural, they're plant-based, they are very, very safe. And you really want to look for, when you're wanting to bring essential oils into your healthcare for yourself and for your family, you want to look for the seal of CPTG, that stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade Essential Oils. You'll see right on the side of doTERRA essential oils, the label, which this is actually a 5 ml, so it might be hard for you to see. It's going to be hard for you to see anyway, because I'm little right now. But that little circle, that's that CPTG label. That's what you want to look for when you're considering using essential oils for your healthcare. Now, I don't know if you have your oils handy or if you've done this already. I like to do a peppermint challenge with people. And that's really just taking 1 drop of peppermint essential oil on your palms and then inhaling it off of your palms. And if you haven't done that yet, I encourage you to reach out to the wellness advocate who invited you here tonight, the person who introduced you to oils, and have that experience. It is so powerful. 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. The really interesting thing here is that while tea is also still very amazing for you, I would just recommend always sticking to organic, because tea is one of the most heavily sprayed crops in the United States. Always stick to organic. Great. It's great to have tea. It's so good for your body. But essential oils are 28 times more potent than tea. And that's because tea goes through a drying process that uses very high temperatures, and it kills a lot of the therapeutic benefits. So while herbs and teas are fantastic, essential oils are just incredibly much more powerful. So you have a lot more therapeutic value. So they're more effective, and just there's a lot more powerful action behind them. So peppermint's a really cool oil. It's an analgesic, so it helps to reduce a fever. What's nice with the littles is that you can use it on them and not worry about overdose. You know, when you're using Tylenol to reduce a fever, can be really frustrating because you have to wait that 4 or 8 hours until you use another dose. With essential oils, they flush through your system. They don't create a buildup, so you're not in danger of taxing the liver or the kidneys or anything like that. So it's awesome analgesic, reduces a fever, great for hot flashes as well. It will reduce the temperature of your body. Another great oil, well, it's a great oil in general, just for digestive discomfort. You can take it internally. And I encourage you to look at these little symbols every time an essential oil is flashed. You're going to see A for aromatic, T for topical, and I for internal. And I'm going to get into how exactly to do those 3 things in a little bit, but I just want you to be aware of that. And I added this image in here of this dude working out because my boyfriend Tom has recently started using peppermint before every single workout just to open up his airways and allow for more oxygen to flow through his blood while he's doing cardio or weightlifting. And it's really impacted his workout routine. And he really misses it when he skips it. And I just think that's really cool that, like, you know, essential oils aren't just for women. There's lots of dudes out there who are reaping the benefits as well. All right, so the second cool thing about essential oils is they are super effective. So I love this image of the cell. It's showing you that inside you have a virus, and on the exterior you have bacteria. This is how microbes function in the body. A virus will infiltrate the cell and it will mess up the DNA, and then the cell naturally reproduces, and that DNA that's all jacked up continues to reproduce with that cell until it's really impacting enough of your body so that you're starting to feel the symptoms of it. So virus is often tricky to treat. You know, what happens when you go to your doctor and you're like, I feel like crap, I've got aches and pains, my throat is sore, I have a headache, I have a fever. 90% of the time they tell you it's a virus and that they don't have a medication for it because there's nothing they can do. What do they tell you? Let it run its course, go home, drink water, let it flush out. So the cool thing here about essential oils is because the constituents that make up that essential oil are so incredibly tiny, they actually will pass through the cell membrane. The cell is encased in this lipophilic or fat. Lipophilic means fat attraction. So it's like it's made of fat, and anything that's going to pass through it is going to need to be oil-based, because what happens with oil and water, they repel each other. So essential oils can penetrate that cell membrane and help to flush out that virus when the doctor doesn't necessarily have a remedy for you. Bacteria is much easier to treat because it hangs out on the outside of the cell. So you can take an antibiotic and it helps to just kill the bacteria and flush it out. So it's a lot easier. But what comes with antibiotics, death of all things, flora in your gut, it not only flushes out that healthy bacteria, the bad bacteria, but it also flushes out that precious probiotics that we're always talking about. So essential oils not only have antibacterial properties, but they also have antiviral. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You can use them when you're not feeling well. On Guard in particular is an essential oil that not only boosts the immune system, but it kills germs. So you can take it internally and use it topically to directly impact your immune system and help it fight any sort of microbe. But also if you're diffusing it, it's going to help to kill the germs in the air, which is really helpful when you have a kid coming home from school who's sick, who has germs. If anybody in the house is sick, I am diffusing On Guard like a mad woman. I have to say too that if I'm not feeling well, and it's been several years since I've gotten sick, knock on wood. But when I would get sick, I would put On Guard in the diffuser and sleep with it like 4 inches from my head and then just let it all kind of rain down on me while I'm sleeping. And that has been super supportive in helping to flush out anything that's going on. You can gargle with it for a sore throat. And I like to include it in my cleaning products. So a little bit of On Guard and water to spray down the countertops is going to kill any sort of bacteria or virus. I also use a product line that doTERRA makes called, it's just the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. And we have other cleaners for the house, like a laundry detergent and a hand wash that all have the On Guard right in it. So super supportive, not only just like for your immune system and for the health of your family, but cleaning the house and the environment around you without the use of any sort of toxins. All right, so essential oils are super affordable. I encourage you to look at these as a cost per drop. So each bottle has 250 drops. That's for a 15 milliliter bottle. The 5 milliliter bottles have about 80 to 100 drops, depending on the viscosity or like the thickness of the liquid. Per drop, they are ranging from 4 cents to, let's say, I don't know actually how high they go, but 4 cents for a drop of lemon is incredible. And when you're looking at how you're using essential oils, they are so incredibly potent that you really only need a drop or two at a time. So when you're using On Guard, when your family's sick, you're looking at 13 or 26 cents per drop versus what does it cost to get medication either from the pharmacy or over the counter? What's the cost of taking time off from work to go to the doctor's office? I'll even throw in gas money to do that. When you just have these things at home available to you, the way I look at it is that I can troubleshoot before I need to bring in any other practitioners. I can be a practitioner in my own home and really get to learn my body and learn how it's responding to these different natural solutions, especially if I have them already when any sort of threat or ailment comes up. So super, super affordable when you look at it from a cost per drop standpoint. Lavender itself is all things calming, helps with bedtime. For adults and children, this is something you can add into bath water right before bed or apply to the balls of your feet. It's also amazing for, and I only add this in because I recently burnt myself, spent a little bit too much time in the sun, and lavender has been amazing for healing and reducing, you know, when you burn yourself, you just have that like heat that's radiating off of you. Lavender and actually peppermint together are awesome for a burn. And it really helps to heal the skin. And I'll take it even a step further. I like to make sure I have lavender in the house if I ever burn myself, like in the kitchen or with a curling iron or a flat iron. Lavender, I don't know what it is about lavender, but it immediately takes the sting and the pain out of a burn. So amazing oil to have on hand. It's great for skin, hair, and nails, any sort of rashes, irritation, eczema, helps with speeding healing, wound healing, reducing scarring, and it's great for meditation. So if you are one to meditate but could use a little bit of assistance with calming the mind, lavender is your friend there. All right, so I'm gonna pause for a second and I'm gonna encourage you. We have quite a group on here tonight. I would love for someone to unmute themselves and share with me at least one cool thing that you learned about essential oils in the last 10 minutes. Go ahead, anybody. I'm going to mute myself.
I liked about the cells, because we always know the antibiotics won't touch the viruses. Well, now I know why, because they're in the cell, whereas the bacteria are on the outside, but it can go inside the cell.
Exactly. And the other thing that I didn't mention is that, you know, a virus isn't alive. It's not like bacteria. Bacteria is biological. A virus is a very different sort of animal. It's not an animal at all. So you can't kill a virus, essentially. You have to get it out of you. So there's just a big difference there. So anybody else?
What does the oil do to the virus then if it's not killing it? How is it?
It's stopping it from reproducing. And then
how does it reproduce if it's not alive? I'm not following.
Oh, it copies itself into other cells and then the cell reproduces.
Gotcha.
So it stops it from being able to do that. And then your cells naturally die off. So the cells that have been infected, those cells will die and leave the body. So, and then your body will just continue to create new healthy cells. So yeah, it's cool stuff. I like it. Any other takeaways, you guys?
I got my picture up just to keep my internet down. Okay. I liked the cost per drop. I've not seen that before. And I think one of the biggest roadblocks is people do say that it is expensive because we're looking at the overall cost per bottle. So that was really informative. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. And if you consider all the costs that go into your healthcare, and there's costs that we don't see when you have insurance, but even the costs that we do see with your co-pays, time away from work, that's money lost, travel to and from the doctors, and then the prescriptions themselves. And if you try to self-medicate with over-the-counter stuff at the drugstore, that stuff costs a freaking fortune. So when you're all in and you've seen like 2 or 3 specialists, at the end of the day, essential oils are a hell of a lot cheaper, and you might even have more answers. In my experience, that's been how it was. Anybody else want to throw out a cool takeaway?
We're just wondering about the burns. Can you just tell how you would use, is it lavender and peppermint on a burn? Not just the sunburn, but the like a stove burn.
So for a sunburn, lavender and peppermint directly on your skin, and I've used it neat. If you are somebody who already uses those oils neat, and just, for clarification, neat just means without dilution, which I'll actually get into more in the topical section in a little bit. But to answer your question, I have just used peppermint and lavender neat on a sunburn. And then for an actual burn, like an in the kitchen burn or a curling iron burn, lavender right on it immediately. Like no fussing around with anything, just get lavender on it. It doesn't need to be diluted. Yeah, cool. All right. I'm gonna move on. Go ahead.
I burned myself on the stove. I didn't realize my husband had used the burner. I didn't see the light, and there was like this little speck, and I didn't want it on the bottom of my pot. So I went like this. I swiped my finger across. Oh, dear Lord. And it was really bad. And I used lavender, and I also used frankincense. And I did this like every 15 minutes. And it was very strange because I looked at it and it was all wrinkled, my finger. It was just like right here. And on the 3rd day, there was this huge blister, and I thought, oh gosh, I had taken a shower, the blister fell off, and my finger was back to normal again. There was you cannot tell that I, stuck my finger on that burner.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it was amazing. But I did use the 2 oils together like every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
Great testimonial. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. In my experience, there's nothing else that takes away the pain of a burn. So I just immediately put lavender on it, and it works. It's crazy how well it works. And to your testimony about the healing properties as well, it's the only thing I will ever put on a burn. All right, so I'm going to pop into 3 ways to use essential oils. So the first one being aromatic. And this is kind of like the gateway, like the most fun way. I feel like people are most comfortable with this in the beginning. Using oils aromatically can be just as simple as putting a couple drops on your palm and inhaling it right off of your palm, or just opening the bottle and inhaling the aroma. When you receive a smell in your brain, it's hitting the part of your brain that houses memory and emotions. So it's really, really super powerful. I always say that when you can choose an oil to choose your mood. So you can really offset your mood. Think of if you're walking, and this is powerful for me because my parents just sold my childhood home. Imagine you're walking into your parents' house or your family's house, and you're smelling Thanksgiving dinner, turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and pies, and the emotion that triggers and the memories that can trigger for you. Now, imagine you're walking into the house and you smell skunk or you smell a gas leak. What happens physiologically in your body it immediately triggers a different type of emotion. It goes right into fight or flight and trying to figure out the source of the smell. So smell is so super, super powerful, and using them aromatically can just make huge shifts in your mood and the vibe in the house too, right? So a couple examples here that I have are wild orange and breathe. Wild orange is an awesome oil for just elevating your mood. You'll see a trend with citrus oils that they are very uplifting emotionally and they're very detoxifying to the body. So you can also take them internally and detox your filter organs, which are your kidneys, your liver, your colon, your lungs, and your skin. Very, very uplifting. And then Breathe is one of my absolute favorite essential oils. Breathe is a blend. So you're probably noticing that there are single oils that I've talked about, and then there's also blends. Breathe is a blend of different oils that are put together for a specific outcome. So Breathe is for respiratory support. You have things in there like cardamom and peppermint and eucalyptus. And the purpose of these oils coming together is that they actually are more powerful when they're together than they are apart. And that desired result is much easier to achieve. The other thing that I love about these blends too is you don't have to go buy the 5 or 6 or up to 10 sometimes essential oils that are in that blend. They've been carefully blended for you so that you don't have to like buy every oil in the catalog. So respiratory was, I think, one of my gateway oils. And at the time I had a lot of respiratory issues, a lot of sinus congestion in my chest. I was getting sick pretty regularly every winter. I'd be sick for a couple weeks, then I'd be kind of okay. I'd be like in that, that medium health area that I was talking about, where it's like you say you're fine, but like you've got all this stuff going on under the surface. So I would have that going on and off, winter after winter. And Breathe was like my best friend. I would apply it to my chest, inhale it off my hands, use it in the diffuser. And it helps to break up mucus, open up your airways, increase oxygen supply. And I mean, just a little side note, I did cut out dairy and gluten, and my sinus congestion and all my respiratory concerns essentially just went away. But while I was having those concerns, if you suffer from allergies, if you look like this woman over here who's like, give me the Mucinex, Breathe is going to be really supportive for you. And there's some other things too that I'd be happy to share with you if this really is what you have going on. Allergies are like getting chronic sicknesses. So yeah, aromatic use can boost your mood, cleanse your airways, open up your airways. Now, the third way you can use essential oils is topically. Using oils topically has some really cool benefits. When you use an oil topically, you're getting a localized impact. So like, let's say you use lavender for that burn. You put it on as soon as you got burnt, it absorbs, it reduces the pain. It's going to help with healing and swelling and that heat, but also it's absorbing into your skin transdermally and hitting your bloodstream like that. Now you're getting all those healing benefits throughout your entire body. Every single one of these essential oils, whether you're using it topically or internally, it's going to help to detoxify your body. And that is really supportive for many, many reasons. Very anti-inflammatory as well. So you can imagine how that can support your body as a whole. But also now you're getting the aromatic benefits because you can't help but smell it. So you're triggering that calming and relaxing seconds after you just burnt yourself in the kitchen. So relief is coming to you on all these different levels. I always say with essential oils, there's side benefits, not side effects like we often see with pharmaceuticals. So yeah, you're getting those localized benefits, but you're also getting internal benefits as well, and then aromatic benefits. A couple things to address from a safety standpoint here. If you yourself, or if you are working with somebody who is elderly, has very sensitive skin, or small children who also have sensitive skin, or if you know in general that you have sensitive skin, I highly recommend diluting with fractionated coconut oil or a carrier oil of your choice. A carrier oil is something that does just that. It's named perfectly. It carries the oil over a larger surface area of your body. It also carries the essential oil deeper into your skin. And it's important to use with people who have sensitive skin because it dilutes the potency. It doesn't dilute the effectiveness. I want to highlight that. It only dilutes that sensation. So there are a handful of oils that are considered to be hot oils. Peppermint is actually one of them, which I think is kind of silly because it feels cold to me. But for some people, that tingly sensation is kind of associated with it being hot. So clove, if you think of your spice cabinet, any one of those spices that typically it is spicy, right? So cinnamon, clove, oregano, those are the oils that are also in this hot oil category. And they create a sensation on your skin. Mind you, they are not doing any tissue damage. They're just creating that sensation. So a way to avoid that, if you're wanting to use that oil topically, is to dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. I love doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. You want to make sure you get this pump, and it just helps with ease of use. And if you're just really wanting to slap an oil on really quickly, 1 pump of the fractionated coconut oil and a couple drops of your essential oil, rub it together in your hands and just apply it where needed. I do this sometimes when I'm wanting to also cover a larger surface area. So like, let's say we want to give like a back massage, or like I exercise for the first time in a year and my butt's sore. Like we want to cover a large surface area with that oil. So you want to use that carrier oil to literally carry it over a larger surface area. So I think I covered the safety stuff. Couple oils here that I think are awesome for topical use. And it just makes sense because that's where the aches and pains are. Deep Blue. This is a blend of essential oils. Another one that doesn't have peppermint in it. Peppermint wears many hats. This also has blue tansy in it and osmanthus, as well as wintergreen. And these oils come together in a blend again to help reduce pain by reducing inflammation and increasing circulation. So if you have an injury, let's say you tore a ligament or a muscle, that's a terrible example. I don't want to use a torn ligament. That just made me cringe. Let's say you just like, you have sore muscles. You want to apply that topically. This is a 5 milliliter bottle of essential oil. And if you feel like you have sensitive skin, you want to dilute it with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. Now you can make life easy for yourself if you find that you're wanting to use fractionated coconut oil often by creating a roller bottle, which is this little guy here. And you want to do that by adding 10 to 15 drops of the essential oil that you're using, and then capping off that bottle with the fractionated coconut oil. You just plop the roller top back on, and then you can apply it whenever you need it. So you have ease of use, and sometimes ease of use is helpful because if it's not easy, we wind up not doing it. So I encourage you to just set yourself up for success with that. And these are things that you can add on to any order. Digest Zen is another one that, yes, you can use it topically. I also like to take it internally when my tummy's upset. So this is for gas, bloating, indigestion, diarrhea, motion sickness. I use this in the car a lot when we travel. If I look at my phone for even 30 seconds, I will get motion sickness, especially if we're like up north in the woods, like up and down hills. So happens really, really frequently. I will just inhale it off my hands, apply it directly to my belly. And then there's a reflexology chart that I like to use. I will apply it to the stomach area on the bottom of my foot to directly impact that organ. But this is all things digestion. Constipation, if you ate something you shouldn't have and you have food poisoning, this will help speed up the process. Whatever direction it needs to come out, it will come out. And it's just been, it's a huge support for us. We always have something going on with our tummies here. And I have clients who this has literally changed their lives. One woman was not really able to even go out to dinner with her husband because she would have to run to the bathroom like within 15 or 20 minutes of eating. So this worked in a way where it supported her digestive system and allowed for it to slow down so that she could absorb nutrients and didn't have that elevated that timing, which was really frustrating for her for years and years. So digestion, like if you have something going on with your stomach, I would start there. Internal is how I use the oils most often, believe it or not. I often, whenever I feel like I need an essential oil, I usually just use it internally. It's quickest, it's easiest, you get the largest impact. And if you think about it too, with topical and internal, you're losing some of that essential oil to evaporation. So aromatic for sure. Yeah, you're smelling it, but you're not getting all of it inside your body. Topical, you know, it's absorbing through your skin, but you're losing some of it to evaporation because they're what is called volatile, which just means they evaporate really quickly. When you take them internally, boom, 100% of that oil is inside your body. So there's no waste, essentially. Lemon essential oil cleanses all your filter organs, your kidneys, your liver, your colon, your skin, your lungs. It'll help clear up your skin. And it can help to regulate your hormones. So I shoot for about 5 to 15 drops of citrus oil every day. It's not always lemon. I really like tangerine. I really like wild orange. So you have some variety there. And it tastes delicious. So it'll make you, I've had people tell me like, I'm a wateraholic now because I just love using my essential oils. I've had people get off of drinking soda with this because water's boring if you've been drinking sugary drinks your entire life. So this is a good transition, a good bridge. So good for you. Frankincense in your mouth every day under your tongue. So frankincense is amazeballs. It is the king of essential oils for a reason. Super anti-inflammatory. It is one of the few things that can pass through the blood-brain barrier, and it supports brain health and reduces inflammation. So it's really supportive for any sorts of diseases of the mind. It is a tumor inhibitor, so it will shrink a tumor. It also is an amplifier, so you can use frankincense with any one of the oils that I've mentioned so far, and it will amplify the effectiveness. I am a lover of frankincense, and I would just encourage you, I always tell people to do this, Google frankincense. Look for studies. Go to one of the websites where they do all the studies. You will find such incredible information about the diseases that it's being tested on and the impacts that it's had. So just do yourself a favor and learn a little bit about frankincense. I don't want you to just take my word for it, but it's super, super powerful. Let me just see really quickly. Okay, all right, let's take a little breaky poo and you guys tell me, was there anything that you took away from the last section here of the 3 ways to use essential oils?
I had heard those before. It's always beneficial to reiterate and to hear them again, but I had heard those uses before. Peppermint is one of my favorites as a migraine sufferer. I know I do love that one. And I was telling Linda, who's on the call tonight too, like I have a box of oils and I just have no blessed idea how to use them other than the peppermint. So I'm just really grateful to be getting re-educated and learning more of the basics. And I like how you've broken it down with examples of those oils that you would use. So that was very beneficial. Thank you.
Oh, good. And thanks for mentioning that peppermint and frankincense together for migraines have been very supportive for a lot of my clients and customers as well. And just Sherry, I'm not sure exactly how you're using it, but I instruct people to take the peppermint and press it to the roof of their mouth and then do the same thing with the frankincense as well. And then inhale off your hands. And if it's really bad, diffuse it while you're sleeping. If you're one of those people who when they get their migraine kind of have to shut down, I used to suffer with migraines pretty badly, and it was lights out. Diffusing that oil while you're recuperating can help with that migraine hangover, which if you have had migraines, you probably know what that feels like. It literally just, you don't feel like the migraine's gone and you're grateful for it, but you're still just not quite right. It can minimize that a lot. So thank you. Thanks, ladies. Go ahead, Karen.
Excuse me, I was wondering about the digesine oil for gas, bloating, and for constipation. How would you use?
Yeah. Well, so it's going to be different for everyone. I always encourage people to kind of build an intuition with the oils and with your body. You can try it any one of the 3 ways. Well, I would say 2 ways. No, 3 ways. So sorry, I'm going back and forth. Constipation specifically, applied topically, and then massage in the direction of digestion. So up the right side, over the center, and down the left. And then also taking it internally. If you have something going on internally, I always kind of recommend using the oils internally for the best impact. So for me, if I know things that I can tolerate food wise and things that I really shouldn't eat. Sometimes I get pain when I get off course. And one of the things that's most helpful for me is actually using digestion on my feet. And it blows my mind every time it works. It's just like so interesting to me that our bodies work in this way, but I will apply it directly above my heel, which is where the small intestine is located. And it helps, for whatever reason, to loosen up that area in my body and the pain will subside. So that's been helpful for me. You said diarrhea. I would just use the oil internally again. For nausea, I do like inhaling it because you can feel it just through receiving the aroma. You can feel your stomach settle a little bit.
So when you're putting it like on the colon or above your heel, is that straight oil or are you then using a carrier oil?
I actually never, and this is just me personally, I never dilute on my feet. Your feet are super rugged and they also happen to be the most porous space on your body. So you're not going to feel a sensation unless you're really, really sensitive, and then you're going to be cursing me. So if you are really sensitive, just make sure you do use fractionated coconut oil. But yeah, I usually typically don't. But using a carrier oil helps increase the effectiveness of your oils. So it's smart to dilute, to be honest. Just because I don't doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It's not a bad idea to dilute.
Will it make them go farther by diluting them?
Yeah. So you might need less oils because it's more of it's actually getting into your body. So when you use that carrier oil, it weighs it down and absorbs more of it into your system quicker and more effectively. So you're not losing it to evaporation. So yeah, there's a potential for you to use less essential oils over time and save you money in the long run.
Sorry, when Karen's finished, I have a question. You're good, Karen?
I think she's good, yeah.
You're good? Okay. So you just jogged something. So where you use this on your feet, I have a girlfriend who's a reflexologist. Mm-hmm. So these would be amazing in her practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Footy has access to a spa manual that goes through the essential oil the essential oils and the reflexology points. And you might be interested in this as well. I have it here. Give me 1 second. Now I can't remember where I got this, and maybe Footy, you might know. It's either Oil Life or aromatools.com. Those are the 2 places that I shop at the most frequently. But this is a reflexology chart that's laminated, and it points out the different organs associated. And then all this information here is the essential oils that are supportive. So like bladder, cassia, cinnamon, on guard, cypress, bergamot, lemongrass, and juniper berry. So this is like an amazing tool. And then on the other side, it has the hand reflexology points. So that might be something you might want to get into.
Can you give me those sites again, please?
Sure. Oillife.com or aromatools.com.
Thank you.
You got it.
Sorry, Sherry. I meant to do that yesterday for you.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's all good. It's a process.
Yes.
Okay. 3 things or 3 ways to use essential oils: aromatic, topical, and internal. I just wanted to reiterate just that there's amazing benefits for all 3 ways. And there's going to be a comfort level with everyone. Some people really get started with the aromatic area and then they work into topical and they work into internal. One of the best resources that I can say is the Essential Life book. There's also a book called Modern Essentials, which you can get at aromatools.com. And then both of those books have really awesome apps. So if you're not wanting to invest, it's like $30 or so for the book. You can get the app on your phone for anywhere from like $5 to $6, depending on which one you get. They're fairly inexpensive. And the information's awesome. So like, I don't have everything memorized. I don't know like if you can do aromatic, topical, and internal for all of the oils. I have to look it up sometimes. So I use that book as a reference tool, and it will just remind you exactly how you can use it. And then specifically on doTERRA's bottles, you will see the uses. If you have really great vision and you don't need a magnifying glass, there are actually instructions there as well. But like On Guard, for example, will say, add 1 drop to 4 ounces of water and take internally. So there are little tidbits there. Each essential oil that is for internal use will have supplement facts, which I don't know how well you can see that, but supplement facts are what you would find on the back of a Campbell's soup can. You know, it's going to tell you what's in that product for the purpose of ingestion. So the supplement facts is a dead giveaway that you can take it internally. And I just want to, I haven't said this yet, but it is really important that you only use this information with certified pure tested grade essential oils. That's again CPTG, and you'll see that golden seal of approval on all of doTERRA essential oils. If you don't see that, then you do not want to be putting that oil on your skin, letting whatever is in that bottle absorb into your bloodstream and eventually into your kidneys and your liver. You don't want to be ingesting it. You don't want to be inhaling it. You especially don't want your babies inhaling it. So just really, really important that any of the information that is shared with you on our Essential Oil 101 classes in our continuing education on Wednesday nights, it is only certified pure tested grade. I cannot vouch for any other brands. Want to feel amazing?
What was the book that you said was $10 from doTERRA?
So are you talking about a previous conversation that we had?
Yes.
That is the Business Builder Guide.
Oh,
That's $10.
okay.
The 2 books that I mentioned here tonight are the Modern Essentials. Sorry, I just totally blanked because my company name is Modern Wellness. Modern Essentials and The Essential Life. Wow, that was really hard for a second there.
And those are available at those 2 websites.
Yeah, Oil Life and Aroma Tools. Yeah. I prefer the Essential Life book, but I prefer the Modern Essentials app, if that's not a brain twister for you. I would also argue too that just having oils is not, it's not as effective as if you have one of those books so that you know exactly how to use them. It's having that book is just as important as having the oils or the app. So it's up to you depending on how deep you want to get into it cost-wise. So yeah, you guys, do you want to feel amazing? Essential oils are incredible and they have so many awesome properties that can boost your body's ability to do what it does naturally, which is to heal itself. But if your body doesn't have the nutritional value that, oh, sugar, I have to hop off soon. If your body isn't getting the nutrients that it needs, then the essential oils aren't going to work quite as effectively. So I just want to touch base with you on the Lifelong Vitality supplements. These are key for that foundation. In the beginning, I talked about eating right. because the soil that our produce is made in, that it's grown in, is it's overproduced, so it's limited in how many nutrients that are available. The produce that we get at the grocery store has huge gaps nutritionally, so it's super important to supplement, and these supplements are incredible. They're whole food based, so the Microplex VMZ is all your vitamins and minerals, kale, dandelion, parsley, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, spinach, and then it has all of your essential vitamins. And essential meaning that they are essential to life and that your body doesn't produce them naturally, so you need to get them from an outside source. If you're not getting them from your food, you have to supplement. It is imperative that supplementation does take place. The XE Omega is going to be awesome for anybody who has brain fog, aches and pains, skin, hair, and nail concerns. It is loaded with land and sea omegas, as well as vitamin D. And then you can see the essential oils that are included in it: clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile. These help as antioxidants for the body. So they help with reducing pain. They help with your body's ability to create energy, but also they keep the omega from oxidizing, making this omega shelf stable so that it's not going bad. A lot of times people take omegas and they repeat on them, meaning that they burp up that fish flavor, which is nasty. So you're not going to find that here. And then alpha CRS works on the mitochondria of the cell. That's just like where your cell makes energy, makes it more efficient so that you can naturally create energy and you don't need outside sources like caffeine, like coffee and sodas or anything like that. Okay, there are 3 ways to buy retail. We don't recommend retail because it's just way too expensive. I don't want anybody overspending on their healthcare. Wholesale is the way to go. Our membership fee is really affordable, $35 for the year, and that gives you a 25% discount off of everything for that entire year, starting at the time that you get your membership, so 365 days. There are really great kits. This is just an example of one kit. These starter kits are fantastic because they include the membership fee for free. So you get that cost completely waived and you get all the additional benefits, including the option to purchase even further reduced at below wholesale. So there are a lot of benefits to having your membership. There's the discount, there's the added community aspect, all these awesome women to help you with your healthcare needs, and additional discounts throughout the year on a monthly basis. So I just want to drop here for you my favorite kits. This one is hands down my absolute favorite. It has the lifelong vitality in it and many of the essential oils that we discussed here tonight. And I just want to let you know this too, when you enroll with an order over $150 within the month of July, you get 50 doTERRA dollars for free. So basically what that means is if there's something that you wanted that wasn't in your kit, you can use these doTERRA dollars to purchase that for yourself. So you can get a little bit of everything, which is really awesome. So any one of these starter kits that's over $150. This is another one that I absolutely love. This is the one that I got started with. And it's actually a little bit different now, but it's very, very similar in that it was basically this diffuser and then many of the same essential oils. This one is going to be geared a little bit more towards emotional support. It has our mental health blend in it, along with copaiba, which I like to call kind of like the poor man's frankincense. So it has all those benefits that frankincense has, plus so much more. So again, you get your $50 with this one as well. And then this one is for the person who's looking to completely overhaul their kitchen, their bathroom, their household. It's loaded with essential oils, the oils that I talked about tonight, and then some, but there's also more like proactive medical care type stuff in here with the Correctex ointment that's similar to like a triple antibiotic ointment that's free of petroleum, but loaded with healing essential oils for wound healing and reducing scarring. It's got not hand sanitizer, but hand wash that I had mentioned that has the On Guard in it. And the fractionated coconut oil. Like, this is really an amazing kit just for starting fresh in your household. I love this one. Additional savings I mentioned. So once you are a member, you have this option to purchase below wholesale. And I won't get too far into it, but I encourage you to really have a conversation with your wellness advocate, the person who invited you here tonight, to make sure that you are getting the best value. So that's really important. We always want to make sure that you are tapping into all the savings that we have available. And I just want to leave you with this. Anybody who gets started with doTERRA really chooses a pathway, and you choose the pathway based on what's in alignment with you, and you just kind of go with the flow into that direction. So somebody who gets started with essential oils and is using them for themselves and their family is somebody who is a user. We call them a user. It kind of sounds a little shisty calling them a user. Then we have somebody who's a sharer, and they're a person who is so in love with the product and the essential oils that they're using that they can't help but share outside of their immediate family, and they're sharing with colleagues, and they're reaching out and making sure that they're helping as many people as possible because they just love this lifestyle so much. And then there's builders. A builder is like what I do or what Linda does, and Katrina, who's on now too. So we are reaching outside of our immediate network, outside of that warmer network, some of those people that we know, and we're looking to share oils with as many people as we can and expand as much as possible so that as many people as possible can have oils and natural healthcare solutions in their home and have a little bit of that control back for themselves and their family. And also being able to offer them the opportunity to do what I do as well and have not only physical healing and healing within my health, but also financial healing and space for more time freedom and financial freedom. So those opportunities are available to anybody who gets a membership. And again, I really encourage you to sit down with your person who invited you here tonight and learn a little bit more. If you're curious, if you're even a little bit curious, sit down and, just have a conversation about it. It's good stuff. And we're a great community, and we'd love to have you hang out with us and grow in so many ways. So awesome. I went over my time by 2 minutes, although I did say this was going to be only 40 minutes. So I'm going to stop recording. And if anybody has any questions, real quick before I turn the time over to Katrina, she's going to be talking about health and income. I'm happy to do a quick around the room if anybody has any thoughts.
I think that was very beneficial. So Linda, thank you for the invite and for having me in tonight. I'm probably gonna hop off at this time. Not that I'm not interested in the part B, but maybe I'll catch that another night. I'm committed to a 6 a.m. boot camp, so I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, and my body's not used to that yet. God bless. I might need some peppermint to get my lungs going before I walk out the door.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
So this was really helpful and very, it was in layman's English, which is really appreciated.
You got it. I'm glad you were here with us, and I'm glad you had some good takeaways. So thank you for being with us tonight. It's awesome.
Relief too. I'm done.
I know. Karen's been on Zoom since like 5 a.m. So we're going to let her
Not
go.
quite, but
It's been a day.
all right. Thank you. That was very informative. I enjoyed it.
Good, Karen. I love it. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
ladies. I look forward to seeing you again.
I'll send you the
Okay.
link for tomorrow night, Sherry.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Sherry and I are in the same group. We have the same coach, and we've been glued to our chair for weeks because we watch everybody's boot camps, which is pretty much the same time every single day. So we have to do a lot of replays. So
Gotcha.
it's like, yeah, it's fun, but it's tiring. So I was glad that she was able to get on.
Oh my gosh, there were 25 comments. Oh, okay. You guys shared the links. Thank you, whoever did that.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
I tried to keep up with that for you.
Thank you. I'm the worst at it. I don't know where it
You can't do it
is.
when you're talking. so-
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. All right.
You're still recording, Liz, just a heads up, if you don't want to be.